Hey everybody, I thought I would take a moment here to take a look at some Doom minis. This here is the Mancubus, and he's really coming along. Well, he's almost done actually. I think the only thing I'm going to do is maybe knock back that red on his arms a bit. It's still a bit bright. But otherwise, I'm liking how it's turned out. Genevieve asked for some gloss, like icky sweat under his fat rolls there. In the original picture I have on Flickr, I took the picture before I'd gotten a good coat of flat on it. She liked the look, so in this case I put the flat on and then I put gloss back on. So there it is. And this is of course the Kakademon. Really happy with how this turned out. He's just a big ball of fun, he is. Had to go back in recently and work on his eye and just get it to pop a little bit more. It seems to have come out quite well. And speaking of big balls of fun, this is the Pain Elemental. He's got that little flaming skull hiding inside his mouth. And yeah, I think he turned out pretty well. He is a lot of washes. He's primarily Agrax Earthshade over a base of, I believe it was Hammerfall Khaki? Yeah, Hammerfall Khaki. I'm doing a lot more with using the shades as a method of painting, as opposed to just using them as washes, and sort of building up the colors in a series of, well, I guess I'm still using it as washes, but it's building it up in levels of washes, and he's a good example of that. And this is the Baron of Hell. I do like the interesting contrast between the green glow in the hands and the pink of his skin tone. It's a little bit clashing, but the idea there is, of course, to simulate the sort of magical fire effect that he throws from his hands. And it's a super bright green. Hey, speaking of glowy hands, this is the Ark Vial. And he, of course, has the yellow glowy hands for the stuff that he shoots out. And he's just a ball of fun there. He's not a ball at all. The flesh tones are great. I'm really happy with this. And as I mentioned it in the other video. By the way, I'm actually missing a video here. I recorded some video last week that didn't actually get shown because I lost my audio, and so I was thinking of coming back and doing voiceover, and I kind of didn't have time, and then I really just needed to get these guys done, and so we skipped ahead, and so here we are at mostly done. So yeah, so that's what happened. And here we have Pinky, angry Pinky. I find painting pinks very satisfying for some reason. I guess because it's really not hard to do, and the results are, well, so stark. There he is, in profile, ready to bite some heads. And then we got the Lost Soul. Really nice colors coming off of there. Very bright, even towards the back where it's starting to taper off. So and another funny story here is that the sort of trailing flame at the bottom, really it's just the stand. On the picture I have on Flickr, you could kind of see that the color had originally, in that one, had actually gone all the way down, not just the bright flames here, but the bright flames all the way down. And the client who I was painting those for at the time asked that I just black that all out, which is a reasonable request, because then you get really just the skull and flame as it appears in the game. And ever since then, that's sort of been the standard that I've done that at. But when I blacked it out, I didn't even notice it, but I had left in, or some of the original color kind of showed through just a bit. And again, it was requested that I put that color back in instead of having this completely blacked out. So that area down below actually has a bit of dark red to it. And of course, this is Heavy Weapon Dude. I love the names of these guys. Heavy Weapon Dude. That's the official name. I'm not just making that up. He's pretty straightforward. Reds and grays and flesh tones. Interestingly, on a previous one of these that I did, he didn't actually have, it may have been a sculpting, or not sculpting, casting issue, but his beard didn't really exist, and so I never painted one in. He had the mustache, but not the beard. And then the client asked that I paint the beard in later on, which I did. In this case, the beard actually exists, so it got painted. His flesh tones really run more towards yellow, utilizing Griffin sepia. Griffin sepia? Seraphim sepia is what that's called now. That matches the color, from the bitmap. It's just an interesting color to go with flesh tone. Of course, he's more of a weird zombie-like creature than a human, but even so. And here you got your Gardenvariety Zombie with assault rifle. Not much to say here. Actually, there is something. This version has camouflage, whereas previous ones have not. That was another special request. And so he has camouflage armor and pants. Sporting the latest fashions for the zombie about town. Shotgun Zombie, on the other hand, is going for basic black. He's probably doing, night missions and such. This is another example of utilizing the shades in a more painting role than just a straight wash. To get that black required a number of passes to slowly build it up from a very light gray, and so it actually has a lot of depth to it. I think he needs another flat coat. And here's the imp with his flaming ball of goodness, getting ready to fling that right at you. Again, a lot of use of the shades here. That is primarily a Athonian camo shade over, I think, again, just light gray. And it really gets a nice sort of green-brown color that I really like. And of course, here we've got the Spider Demon, or Arachnotron. He is the first one that I did with the blue eyes, and I really like the blue eyes. They really pop. I really prefer it to the red, I think. And the brain is really nicely brainy colored. It's really kind of gross, actually. I don't think the red's showing up quite as well on the video as it is in person. It really is using flesh tones, but then I used a really thin wash of bloodletter glaze over the top of it to really give it a sort of, like bloody look. Without going over the top, but really, it's kind of disgusting. And this is the Revenant. One of the things in the first one of these that I painted that I had trouble with is that his pants and then his hips and spine area are nearly the same color, but they're not really supposed to be the same thing. That is clothing versus viscera, and trying to differentiate is a little tricky. But I think it works out when you go more towards the pink, sort of a faded red for the clothing, and then a more deep disgusting bloody red on his exposed bits. I think works out pretty well. And this is, of course, the Cyber Demon. He's I think he's the bulkiest mini in the group. I remember in one of the earlier videos that I did with this guy, it showed the difference in height between him and the Marine, and it's absurd because the Marine is about the size of his arm, or really just his gun. It just seems insane to think that the Marine could actually do anything to this guy. And of course, here's the Marine. Honestly, if I had been the guy designing the main character, of course you never really see him, I guess, when you're playing the game, but really, these colors, that's just something. That green, ugh. But that's his colors, that bright green and almost white. It's well, he definitely stands out in a crowd. But that's it. That's all the minis. And although I might be doing some touch-up between now and when I send them out, they are essentially done. So I hope you enjoyed seeing them. I certainly enjoyed painting them, and I have a lot more of them to paint in the near future. But I actually think I'm going to have maybe one or two other small projects because I'm still waiting on minis. And I have other people who have sent me things that they want me to paint, and so I can get those out of the way while I'm waiting on the minis to arrive. And so you may be seeing some non-Doom minis in the very near future, and that might be cool. Perhaps even another Star Wars X-Wing project. But that's it for now, and I really appreciate your watching. Remember that if you liked the video, please like the video. And you know that means pushing the like button. You know what that means. And of course, if you are not yet a subscriber, think about subscribing, because then you'd be able to definitely see more of my videos as they arrive. And I do these a couple of times a week. Well, I normally do these a couple of times a week, even if I haven't done that a lot recently. But that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching.